I got into a fight with a cow, and I think I lost. A few days ago, we went out to go milk, and I've been trying to train my cows to be not quite so dependent on feed in order to be good and stand still in the stanchion. That has not been going very smoothly. They, especially Daisy, she gets very fidgety and a little bit wild and crazy if she doesn't get her feed, and that can knock off the machine. She can accidentally kick the machine. She's a great girl. She's so super friendly. She's so sweet, but she wants her feed, and she gets really antsy if she doesn't get her feed. So I started giving her alfalfa hay. It's a little bit more of the coarser stuff. I don't like it very much, and if I don't have to buy from that person again, I would rather not. I normally get my hay from somebody up the road who is absolutely amazing, and I love her. But it's just one of those times, you know, the hay hasn't quite come in, somebody else has it, go with theirs. I don't really want to do that again. So, all that to say, it was okay the first time. Second time she decided, no, I'm not going into the stanchion. Well, that time just so happened to be when my kids were outside helping me. I think I had 4 of them out helping me that day. Yeah, 4 of them out helping me. So, alright, this is what we've got going on in the milking area. We have Molly tied to the pallet fence that we have in there. Pallet wall, it's more like a pallet wall. And she's waiting for her bottle. And I have Tank, our new bull calf, who's going to be our beef steer, tied up. He's waiting for Minnie to come out to the pallet wall where there's a clip in a lead and a bucket full of feed for her. And she gets clipped there, and then Tank is allowed to just be free, and he'll nurse from her, and it's all great. Then we bring Daisy into the stanchion, but this time she got partway up to the stanchion and then stopped. Normally I can manage things all by myself, so I wasn't expecting a surprise. She decided to stop and then start pulling back, and so I'm like, no, come on honey, you can do it, you can do it. So I'm being gentle, and I'm using my right arm because my left arm is, the tendonitis is bad enough that I have a hard time straightening this arm out at all. So I really can't use it for much. So I'm pulling, and she's kind of not sure, she's kind of going forward a little bit, and then she just put her feet out like, nope, nope, you can't make me, and she's, and so I've got my arm underneath the board of the stanchion that runs across, kind of through and under, grabbing her halter, trying to pull her up, and she decides to rip her head through, and it just about broke my arm, and I'm yelling at her and screaming at her and you know, trying to make her come, and she did this a lot. My kids finally, they were outside trying to get the waters filled and hay feeders filled and stuff like that, so they were working. They heard me hollering, a couple of hollers. You know, you do that with a cow if they're just being a little bit obstinate. I mean, cows. But they heard me hollering and continuing to holler, and Lori knew then something's wrong, we need to get in there, and it took 3 people to get her into the stanchion, which she can run into happily if there's grain there. But it took 3 of them to pull her in, one of them actually lifting her rear end up in the air just to get her to come into the stanchion and get her locked in. And then the first time they got her to try to lock her in, they weren't fast enough, so she backed out again, and so they had to keep pushing her in. Thankfully she didn't do a back kick. Cows don't typically kick backwards. There's some that do, but mine don't. They will most of the time kick to the side. They can do a roundhouse kick to the side. That's pretty cool. That's pretty amazing. But they don't typically kick to the back. Minnie will if she doesn't like one of the calves. You know, she'll kick to the back. But Annabelle and Daisy don't generally kick in the back. So anyway, got her all tied up. I'm so sore and so mad at her. I walked in because now I got to go get Annabelle and put her into the middle stanchion. My arm is hurting so bad because in the process, she scrubbed and tried to break my arm here and up here and up here. And, you know, just when you think of the massive amount of size and strength that their necks and their heads have, when she decides to throw her head up, if my arm is trying to hold her, I'm not going to be able to hold that head down. So it's either I let go and she's now in the milking room getting into everything and, you know, being bad, or I have to hold on and hope my arm doesn't break. So as a result, I've got some nerve damage and bruising in here. You really can't see very well, but I've got some bruising. The bruising just started. This happened on Saturday night. Today's Tuesday. The bruising has just finally starting to show up, but it's bruised in here. Yeah, you can kind of see the bruising right in here now with my arm, my hand. So it's bruised really bad right in here and in here. And then another one here that you can kind of see. And then I've got it more up in here too, but not all of the bruising has shown up. So, yeah, I got into a fight with a cow. And I think I lost. Needless to say, this morning, she got her grain in the stanchion because I gotta be able to manage her by myself. And what Daisy wants, Daisy gets. Hopefully, we can make these adjustments, but I'm not going to be making these adjustments by myself, I don't think. I think I'm going to have my kids help me because she can be a handful. So just a word of advice to people who are like, oh, cows are so much fun, they're so sweet. And they are. They're wonderful, but they're powerful. Daisy wasn't trying to hurt me. She had no idea she was hurting me. She just didn't want to go into the stanchion. She wanted what she wanted. That was just all there was to it. She wasn't trying to be malicious or hurt me. I've had cows like that. Daisy wasn't trying to do that. She didn't know that she was hurting me. She just knew that she was bad. She likes being bad. And I was upset at her. That's all she knew. Because in a cow's mind, things are simple. In a cow's mind, they're not complex. They're very simple. We tend to make them complex. She wanted her grain. It didn't have grain. Well, she didn't want to be up there if there wasn't grain. So she was going to pull back. I didn't want her to pull back. But she wanted to pull back. That was all. She hadn't even thought so much as, well, what am I going to do when? You know, what if this happens? Cows don't think along those lines. They just think what they want and how to go about getting that. So be aware of that. If you're going to get a cow, remember they are very, very powerful and very strong. Yes, you're probably going to get stepped on. Yes, you're probably going to get kicked. No, it doesn't mean that your cow is trying to be mean to you. They don't know where they're stepping. And sometimes they do. And sometimes they will take great joy in stepping on you. But not always. Especially if it's a good-natured cow that you've always had great relationship with. They're not out to get you. Just try to get inside the simple mind of a cow and try to think along the lines of what's important to them. So anyway, yeah, I got into a fight with a cow and I lost. Yeah, so I'll show you a little bit about what's going on for our milking routine now that we're feeding Tank on Minnie, feeding Molly. She's not allowed to nurse on Minnie because she was Valentine's baby, and Valentine we had to butcher because she had staph A, and there's the possibility that that staph is still residing in Molly's mouth. And if that's the case, I don't want Molly to transfer that to Minnie into her udder. So Molly is being bottle fed now, and she will be until about the second of the last week of August. August 3rd. A crazy day. I think my favorite time is milking in the evenings. more peaceful, less stressful. Let's see if we can make it through tonight's milking without getting beat up by a cow. Let me put this up here. Alright, you got all that? There they are, they're all making their way. Annabelle!
We've been spotted, Mom.
Annabelle! And then, so, okay, so over at this kind of connection here, that's where we will tie up Molly. And then the next one we tie up Tank real short. And then the next one with the bucket there, we tie up Minnie. And then as soon as she's eating and she's all tied up, then we'll let Tank loose and he'll nurse. And then while she's feeding him, we can milk out the two girls, Daisy and Annabelle, and kind of get everything all done at once. My dream would be to be able to kind of have like 3 stanchion areas so that I can get 3 cows done all at once. That would be my dream. But I would also do milking machines too, because my arms aren't going to put up with hand milking anymore. I kind of miss it because I always liked hand milking.
Good girl. Good girl.
Oh,
Hang on. That's what she wanted.
yeah.
All right. Thank you, boys. Ready.
Tank.
Come here, Tank. Come on, Tank, boy. Okay.
Little Minnie!
Come on.
Little Minnie!
Aww. Bucking her head up real high.
Yeah, she's such a good girl.
Aren't you want to let Tank loose?
She's just remembering some bad things. That's all.
Like
Come on,
what?
sweetie. Good girl.
Like the fights and stuff.
Last time you brought her in
Good
here.
girl. Good girl.
Annabelle. You good now?
Right.
So I don't know if you can tell, but Tank is really going after Minnie. And so we've got this set up here, and it's working. So far, it's working very, very well. We've got Daisy up here. We'll milk her. And Minnie here, and Minnie's great. She never kicks us unless she thinks that we're one of the calves and we're going to be bothering her. And then we have Molly here. So we bottle feed her twice a day. And then Tank has already grown so much. He was so little when we first got him. And he's put on, I don't know, I want to say about 30 or 40 pounds since we got him. Tank, wouldn't you think so? I know I've shown it before on some of my other videos, but these plugs, I bought them on eBay. They were $10 for 2 of them, plus shipping, so it ended up being, I think all total when I got the set of 4 plugs, I ended up spending like $25, which is kind of expensive, I thought, for just plastic. But these allow us to empty 1 quarter at a time, put the plug in, and just let it hang and, you know, work with the others. It's just wonderful. And for some of these girls, their udders are so difficult that you can only do 1 at a time. If you try to do all 4 of them, you lose all the suction, and it's a pain. So
It's fuller on the bottom.
these are really, really helpful. eBay inflation plugs, and yeah, they're from China. Well, they even have Chinese lettering on the bottom. Yeah, they do.
I think we're both done. Come on.
I know she wants to.
That's funny.
Yeah, she has. How's their water looking?
It's just overflowing when I got out there.
Just overflowing a little bit? Alright, if you can pull the hose out, we'll turn the fence back on. So some people have wondered about the surge milker. This is the belt that we put on, and it allows for the surge to hang on it. This is the vacuum pump hose, connects to my vacuum pump. Goes right here on the back of the pulsator, right there. There's a little prong that sticks out right there. Goes right there. It's just very noisy. Just like that. So then, hi Minnie. We just watch from the back. And we can tell if her bag is getting really wrinkly. She's got what's known as a collapsible udder. So she looks like a balloon that has been completely deflated and is just basically just hanging saggy skin. Some of my girls will still look full even when they're empty. Collapsible udder is nice because you can definitely see when they're empty. The tough part is when their udder's empty, the inflations fall off. So that can make it a little tough. So we just have to keep a closer eye on her. But she empties real easy. She's been really good with the surge milker. Every single one of my cows that I've used the surge milker on, first time, never having used it, they never kicked about it. They never complained about it. They did great, and they actually seem to like it better than hand milking. We always test it, put our thumbs into the inflations while the vacuum pump's running to make sure it's not too strong because we don't want to hurt her. But also keep in mind that cows do have a higher pain tolerance than we do. I know, I hear you, Molly. You want more milk, but you're not getting any more milk.
I gave her some fresh tea.
Yeah. You don't need any more milk, do you?
Hi, sweetie.
Good girl.
Hi, pretty girl.
She is so pretty.
She is so
She's
pretty.
got a beautiful face. This is what our evenings sound like here.